in the world.
You probably recognize these uniforms, these symbols of the Ku Klux Klan. But there is still one symbol on the University of Texas campus in Austin that continues to bear the name of a former Klansman. And tonight, a new research project and a former UT law professor are pushing the university to take it down. KXAN's Matt Fleener shows us why, all new at 6.
We've moved past the days of Rosa Parks, but to this day, hidden behind the trees, hundreds have passed by, even lived in Simpkins Hall without a look back.
I personally didn't research very heavily any of the dorms.
Students here will say they don't know of Professor William Simpkins' past with the Ku Klux Klan. But when they find out, on a campus that honors names so highly,
I think it's very disrespectful that they still have this dorm.
They echo the research of a University of Denver professor.
It's simply not appropriate for the University of Texas administrators to continue to honor a Klansman by keeping his name on a dormitory.
Professor Thomas Russell used to teach at the University of Texas Law School and has just released a research paper about Professor William Simpkins, who taught law at the university at the turn of the 20th century.
After the Civil War, he participated in violence against freed blacks. And then while he was at the university, he used to give a speech on behalf of the Klan, advocating his own Klan past.
Russell found it was reprinted in UT's alumni magazine. The Klan, Simpkins noted, was composed of the best young men of the land. Simpkins also said our mission was the protection of our women and children.
In the early 20th century, you see a direct advocacy of terroristic white supremacist violence.
Now, Russell is calling on the university to rename the dorm where 190 students still call home.
In some ways, this is going to be a moot issue in short time because that building's actually going to come down.
When pressed, though, UT officials could not pinpoint a date when Simpkins Hall may be laid to dust. They also point to buildings named after prominent minorities on campus and say it would cost a great deal of time and money and require the Board of Regents to rename the dorm.
Through a process with students and faculty, they recognize this particular person. And so the question is now, in 2010, do we now unrecognize those individuals? And I think what we need to be careful about is making sure that we send the message that we need to be honest about our history.
But it seems someone may have already sent a message. This bust of William Simpkins was in the UT Law Library for years. Law students used to pat his head and rub his nose for good luck. That bust is currently stored in this warehouse here in North Austin. Russell says that a law librarian back in the 1990s learned about Simpkins' past and quickly removed that bust from where the public could see it. Right now, it's in this room, buried in the boxes, and library staff says it will stay out of the public eye. To this day, UT says no one has campaigned to put this dorm's nameplate in a warehouse as well.
For them to still have it just shows that they still honor him and respect him as a person.
But students passing by now, learning about Simpkins' past, may have the final say. Russell points out that Simpkins Hall was commemorated in 1954. That's the same year as the Brown versus Board of Education decision. To hear how Russell connects the two and to hear more of his research on how UT may have kept African Americans out of school during that time, we've got the full study on KXAN.com. On the UT campus, Matt Fleener, KXAN Austin News.